Hello and welcome to this handover video. I'm going to assume a base level of understanding of WordPress. So basically, once you're logged in, you'll see this administration bar across the top. You can navigate to any page that you want to edit and simply click this icon here, the edit page. Alternatively, you can go into the dashboard, which is where you'll land by default when you log in, and you can select the page from the Pages menu. The theme framework that we're using is called Enfold, E-N-F-O-L-D. You can Google that and find out all sorts of useful information about it. What you need to know from a design perspective is that the theme setting is where we're managing a majority of the CSS, or the visual styling of the site. So you can click in here, and there are a bunch of options that are global. The custom CSS is contained under the general styling. You scroll down the bottom here, and the idea really is while you're working at building the site, you're putting the quick CSS in here. Once you're happy with the final version, you'll copy and paste that or commit it to the style sheet. So in terms of editing content, before I mentioned that you can select a page or just visit the site and navigate to the page that you want to edit. The Enfold framework uses a advanced layout builder, and I'll give you a quick demonstration of what that looks like as soon as this page loads. Live television, everybody. Live television. Okay. So I probably could have made that a little bit less painful. I'm sorry. Just by clicking on this tab here. Anyway, this is our home page. Here we've logged in by clicking on the edit front page. We'll bring up a screen that looks like this, and you'll see that each of the content areas is contained within a little box, and to edit it you simply click into it. So blah 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 blah, we'll make some changes. You need to save each of the areas that you're working on, and then to make them live you click on update, like so. If you create a new page, then you have the option to use page templates and element templates. So an element template is just one previously constructed content area. So first and foremost, you need to select the advanced layout editor. Over here there are the page templates, and you'll see that there are two different types of template. One is a page and the other is an element. So an element will just be one small bit of content functionality. So in this case it's the left title content blocks. We're going to get rid of that though, because by default we'll be importing the generic page template, which already contains that content block. So this is drawn from the team page, and I've taken out all the stuff that's specific to that page. So the three footer widget areas get pulled in. There's one little content area, and then the generic title section. So to have a unique title on each page, you just need to click into the heading sections, like so. Close that out. To change the background, you need to edit the content block. Now, so that this makes a little bit more sense, I'm just going to add a new page, and we'll begin going through this advanced layout editor and some of the fancy pants tricks that it can do. So if we had a completely fresh blank page and select the advanced layout editor, we can begin building the page. Now basically on the any page that's currently built, as you scroll down you'll see that the content is divided into these sections. So each horizontal section here is a color section, and effectively what we're doing is building out the mobile responsive dynamic boxes and then filling them with content. So a color section for the header, color section for the first piece of content, let's say another color section for an imaginary footer. So these color sections enable us to have a full width background, be it a single color or an image. And once we've got the holding box in place, we can pull in layout elements. Now this is a heading section, so we're just going to leave it blank for the moment. But say we're building a 2/3, 1/3 content area, we will drag in the mobile responsive containers. So these are just layout blocks, and then we'll drag the content in. So this kind of layout of 2/3, 1/3 is fairly common. Just to make things a little bit more exciting, we might make this bottom section quarters, and see here I'm just changing the width of the column dynamically just by using these little kind of toggle arrows. Super easy to do. What I recommend, if you're working in a capacity where you're making multiples, build your first section first, and then clone it like so. So that'll make sense in a moment. So we've got our layout elements in place. I'd recommend at this stage publishing the page just to save that. And then we'll keep editing by pulling content elements in. So as I said before, this top section is going to be the heading section, and the styling for the heading section is already done. This is just demo, but we click into the heading. The heading style is the modern style, so whether you're doing left or right aligned, left or center aligned, it's the modern style. The default sizes can be set in the CSS, otherwise you can change them dynamically here. You can also change the colors if you want to, either using custom color or meta color or default color. Now the default and meta colors are pulled in under the theme settings, which we touched on earlier. So they're pre-configured styles that are present in theme settings. Otherwise, for a custom color, just select the color, and we won't go into this in too much detail, but now we have a red heading. Change that one, just line up. Red and orange, beautiful. You can tell I'm a designer, right? Okay, so make this the modern centered style. Now in these content areas, we just pull in the functionality that we want. So a text area, a special heading, under media elements we may want to bring an image in there, like so. But basically, before you begin applying specific content, you apply all the general content containers or blocks. So, and perhaps on the right hand side, you might want to bring in a widget area. Now, the widget areas are very interesting with this framework because you can create unique widgets very quickly, and we'll do that in a moment. For the moment, we'll just make this a sidebar pages widget area. And then, when built this way, we can add page-specific content. So for the moment, let's pull in a button. And pull it into the correct container. So these little containers, when they go light green, it means that you're in the right spot. So, like so. Okay. So that's the general content for that section. Now we'll just go down to the footer. We'll put 4 icon boxes down there. So I'll just click that, and what that will do is put it down the very bottom of the page, which is where we're working. So this is an icon box that you can choose the icon for dynamically. This style of box we'll put as a large icon above the title, and it can have borders, and we'll choose the icon, pop the title in. Here's our text. And you'll see like there's a little kind of element preview over on the right hand side here. This isn't perfect, but it's pretty close. So we've created the first one to our satisfaction. At this stage, again, I would choose to update. Like so. And then we begin clicking and making the specific content for each of these areas. So I won't actually go into that. What I will do is just one thing to remember that's quite important when you're working with images. Select your image. Just put a photo of Steph in there. Just notice here that the attachment display settings need to be set as well. So the full size image is 277, which is fine for this. Actually, it probably won't work. The way that our layout is put together, we need a full width image. So let's choose something that's a bit bigger. Now I've just done that exact rookie mistake, which is I haven't checked the attachment setting. Okay, so this is set to medium, which is too small. We need to be a little bit wider. So our section is roughly, it's going to be about 700 pixels wide, but we don't want to be too tall. So we might check something which is pre-configured to be long and thin. We'll choose this. Now it's not actually going to be full width, because every element is scaled relative to its container. By that I mean the containing box that we set up in the layout. So now we've got an image, title, text. Let's say we've got the content in here to our satisfaction. We would then clone those elements. Oops. I just cloned the content element, not the container. So we'll clone these like that, and then you click in and start changing the content just for those areas. So get your first one's layout perfect, and then cruise in and make the specific changes that you need. Okay, once you're satisfied with that, update often. Just the nature of servers, the natures of WordPress, things happen, stuff will crash, you don't want to lose your work. So for this page, we haven't dug into color sections yet, but let's just do that quickly now. So all we're doing here is setting the section background, and for a majority of the pages it's a large image like so. this is the donate background section. Here's a page section which I think is for projects. I'll select that as full size, insert. Now if you want to change that, of course, for any specific page, you just remove it and then choose a different image. Important for these background sections to stretch to fit, so that covers the whole element. I'll save there. Now for the other color sections, even color sections that don't have a background can have a pre-configured style sheet set or a CSS set. So this again is set under theme settings, but then you just choose which of the areas styles you want to apply. So this one we'll keep as the main content, which is a white background, but maybe down the bottom here we'll edit the section, and we might make this one either the alternate content or footer content. Okay, so it's struggling a little bit to load. That's because I'm running this video off my mobile phone. Let's try that again. Let's see if it loads a little bit quicker. Come on, buddy. No, okay, look, I'm not going to waste any of your time. Basically, from that drop-down list, you would choose one of the pre-configured background areas, and I'll show you exactly what that means in just a moment. So let's update that page, and probably should have given it a title, but this is just a demonstration. I'll have a squeeze of what that looks like. Probably not going to set the world on fire with our red and orange header, but who knows? You know, fashions change. Okay, so here we've got, you can't really see it very neatly on the orange thing, didn't plan that very well. We've got our top header section, our titles, our content, our little demo blocks down here, and the footer is automatically applied. What I will just do now is set a default height for this section so that it's consistent with the rest of the site. And so it's going to take up at least 50% of the browser. Save that. The other thing that I didn't do was set the navigation visibility. So this header visibility transparency, this determines how the top section appears. So we're using the transparent and glassy header on all of the main main landing pages. So that, and we're just going to remove the sidebar, and what that's doing is just removing the default system sidebar, which defaults to sidebar pages anyway. However, in this configuration, in this layout, we have much more flexibility because we can choose any type of widget that we want. When this is set to right or left sidebar, it will only pull in the sidebar pages. We don't have that flexibility to add additional content specific to a page. We only get to add the universal sidebar widgets. So more on widgets in a second. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave you hanging. So we'll update that page and refresh this one. Now you'll see here the default settings for the site are that the breadcrumbs turn up. So it's a non-transparent header with breadcrumbs. Now that we've changed those settings, I'll just refresh the page, and you'll see that that transparent header, that glassy header, has been applied. And now at least 50% of the page, this is what the banner will look like. I think that for the other pages I've set it to 75%. Yep. Okay, so this is 75%. you are totally free to decide one way or the other which way you want to do it. Back into our editor. So that's a page built from scratch. What we have the opportunity now to do is to save that entire page as a template. So it's as simple as save entry as. Now there is a naming protocol I recommend. You don't have to do it, but it's helped me in the past. It is just to distinguish between page templates and element templates. So I put them as page, demo, save that. Now once that's saved, it doesn't show up immediately. It will on this page, just because this is the page we've set it on. But once we update it, that template will be available across any of the pages. So there's our generic demo content. Even if I completely deleted everything out, which I can do very quickly and simply just by pressing these red squares, I can now go to templates, scroll down, find my page demo, and that will pull in all those elements. The other thing that you can do is just to clone a section. So if we decide that we're going to be using this 4-block section over and over again, this little element here will allow us to save the element. And again, that naming protocol is element first. Okay, again, you save it, and it's available across all of the other pages. So I'll just update that for good habit. And this demo template will probably become the basis for me building out the project's demo pages. So I promised that we'd cover widgets. So a widget is widget is a global section. So in the footer, you will notice that there are 4 columns. Each of these little blocks here is contained within a widget. This sign up for our newsletter is set up as a widget as well as these partners, and there is a donate widget as well. The reason that I've done them as widgets is because this information may need to change, and maybe even the list. This information may need to change. We don't want to have to click into every single page and do that. So maybe that little widgets. Okay. So now we have the names of our widget sections, and I'll just show you there is one element block that is worth knowing about, which is simply the element of the footer set of 3. So click on that, and that will add down to the bottom of your page these 3 widgets: donations, newsletter capture, and partners, and they correlate to the widget sections of partners, donations, and newsletter capture. So if the main partners change, then we can swap out the images here. There's also the opportunity to add a title to this section, which I wasn't quite sure whether your team wanted to do. I guess we can discuss that, or you can, whomever is watching this can do it on their behalf. basically, yeah, flicking between the visual and the text editor. It wouldn't hurt to stick in a H2 or H1 title, but something to discuss with the crew, the OHO crew. The newsletter capture is pulling in a gravity form ID2, which I'll cover momentarily. But basically, in that little demo, we had the sidebar pages widget section, which is currently just pulling in the MailChimp newsletter sign up widget. You can pull in any of this functionality, and that will dynamically show up on all pages that have that sidebar widgets selected. So see here, sidebar widgets. Now if you discover that there is something that you want to use consistently across many pages, create a new widget section. Maybe this is feature project. Okay. So we would create the widget area. And then if we add content, let's just make this just for today, let's make it a search. By default, I've installed the, you can add CSS classes to these widgets. This is just a little extension, pretty cool. So if you need a dynamic class that you can then reference in the theme settings, whack it in there. But we'll save that widget, go back into this section here. The page will need to be updated before that widget area will show up as an option. So basically every time you update the page, it's rechecking the database for new functional elements. So now in our drop down list we have feature project as an option. Update that, and we'll just take a peek. Actually, just while we're here, with the page titles, they don't show up as part of the design in the advanced layout builder by default. You need to add them in manually, like so. However, they will show up in the breadcrumbs. So for pages that are using breadcrumbs, which I recommend for the projects and the like, that information, whatever you put the title in, will become part of the breadcrumb element. Just a little bit of info for you there. Okay, so this is our demo page. Where else? Let's open in a new tab. Maybe I didn't press go. It's loading over here. There's all that stuff, and you see over here, find stuff, which is what we set up in the widget section over here. It's done. You save it, that will automatically update across anywhere that widget is referenced. So nothing new for the more experienced WordPress people, but for anyone who's a little bit of a beginner, that's pretty exciting stuff. So we just updated it there. So again, these three widgets are set up. Just so you know, the backgrounds for these sections are set individually. So I guess part of this little juncture is committing to the background image that you're going to be using. This content here is dynamic and they're updated through the widget, but the background image is fixed to those sections. So you can overwrite that by applying a CSS rule to the section background. So you'll see that each of these sections has it should have the section ID goes. So I will update the elements so that is so. It's very interesting. They haven't come across. Anyway, there's something for me to fix. But there against each of these sections, there's a there will be, by the time you're you're watching this, there'll be a default style sheet ID applied. So you can actually use that ID if you want to override those background images. Okay, good to know for the slightly nerdier amongst us. And yeah, I will change those IDs up under the template elements just after I finish recording this. Okay, so that should be enough to get you started. It's a very flexible system. The reason why we chose to rebuild on this is to give you guys or whomever is watching this the flexibility they need to create unique page templates, but also just kind of leverage previous work. The best way to learn this stuff is to either click into each of these things on a page and see what they do, or you can go to the Enfold demo sites. So just do Enfold demo, and that will show you a couple of demos of the site. Most importantly, with each of these demos, they have a page in the navigation options that have examples of each of the content bits. So they're contained under elements. So let's say we've got grid row in our editor in the content options under the advanced layout editor. You'll see that there's a grid row that you can select, and this is just an example of what you can do with that. So click through, don't know what a gallery does, easy slider, content slider, just have a look on the demo site. Okay, that is all for now. I've taken up enough of your time. If you have any questions, please reach out. Jeremy, Jeremy, at ecoda.com.au, which is Echo Charlie Oscar Delta Alpha.com.au. Look forward to connecting with you soon.